Be sure of identification. All right, Joe, pull back the sheet.
No, I can't. Look, I can't.
Mrs. Miller, I'm afraid you'll have to.
Are you sure, Mrs. Miller?
Oh, yes, of course. The ring, our wedding ring.
Jenny, you've got to take Mrs. Miller back to the car.
Yes, sir. Here, Mrs. Miller, this way.
Well, Drummond, I guess it's Miller all right. What's left of him. The looks of things, that car banged him up plenty.
Yes.
If we can only find that car. I wonder whose it is.
I've got a fairly good idea, Foley.
Well, Miller's dead and his partner Madden has disappeared. The case is like a scrambled jigsaw puzzle. It's more perplexing as you go along, sir.
On the contrary, Denny. Now it's beginning to make sense.
Well, not to me. For example, sir, what could have happened to Madden?
That's what we're here to find out. 3A. Here's Madden's apartment. Locked. All right, Denny, we'll use the skeleton key.
Very well. You know, I wonder what's behind this entire affair. There must be some definite motive.
Perhaps we'll learn that, too, in Madden's apartment.
Ah, there it is. That does it.
Here's the light switch.
Heavens. This room, sir. Looks like it's been struck by a cyclone.
Yes, quite a mess.
I wonder what happened here.
Offhand, I'd say it's been gone over with a fine-tooth comb and in great haste. Denny,
Yes, sir?
look at this in the fireplace.
Why, sir.
Quick, let me see that piece of cloth we found in the nail last night in the Blackton Hotel.
Yes, here it is, sir. Here.
Well,
Why, it matches, sir.
the pieces of our jigsaw puzzle are beginning to fit together, Denny. This piece of fabric we found in the fireplace is from the same overcoat as the piece we found in the Blackton Hotel.
Evidently, someone was trying to destroy the overcoat in the fireplace by burning it.
Evidently.
And luckily for us, this piece wasn't burned. Sir?
Yes?
Could it be Madden who's behind all this? Could it have been his overcoat? And could it have been his car that ran over Miller?
Well, Denny, we know that they left for work together this morning. As for the car, I have no doubt it was Madden. Madden. Of course.
What is it, sir?
Madden, Denny. M-A-D-D-E-N. Now, backwards. N-E-D-D-A-M.
Nedham. Why, sir, that's the man who occupied room 21 in the Blackton Hotel.
Exactly.
And then it was Madden all the time.
Wait, Denny. I hear someone coming. Switch off the light. Now, Denny, when he enters, switch on those lights. When I call ready, I'll have him covered. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Ready? All right, get him up.
Well, Paul.
Well, Inspector Foley, imagine finding you here.
Say, what is this?
I'm sorry to have given you a scare, Foley. Denny and I are here on a little research trip. Thought we might find a clue or two.
Well, anyway, you're headed in the right direction. Looks like this guy Madden is the punk we're after.
Oh, Captain Drummond and I came to that conclusion quite a time ago.
Well, then here's something to cinch your suspicions. We just had an accountant check over the books at the Miller and Madden Investment Company.
And you've discovered that a number of negotiable securities are missing.
Yes. How did you know that, Drummond?
I didn't until you mentioned the accountant. The rest was obvious. Only a fool would take unnegotiable securities. Right, Foley?
Yes, that's right.
Then there's the motive. Madden was stealing money from the company. Miller knew it. So Madden did away with Miller.
Yes, that's the way I figure it, too. And you can be sure that Madden won't get very far before we catch up with him. Got the wires to all police departments buzzing with his description. Yes, sir, you can bet he won't get far.
Well, Foley, in that case, we'll be getting along.
Okay, I'll look around here. When we catch up with Madden, I'll let you know. You'll be interested.
Yes, I'll be very interested. Come along, Denny.
Well, I'm glad that case is settled.
Only it's not yet.
Well, I mean practically settled. Foley will have Madden in hand soon.
I doubt it.
What?
We still have work to do, but we'll have to hurry.
But where to?
Denny, what's the shortest distance between two given points, A and B?
Oh, that's quite silly, sir. Straight line, of course. Why?
Well, Denny, we're going to try to get to the killer, whom we shall call Point B, by starting at Point A.
And who or where or what is Point A?
Denny, in our little mathematical problem, we shall refer to Mrs. Richard Miller as point A.
How long are we going to wait here in these bushes?
Till Mrs. Miller returns.
But why must we wait here?
Just an idea I have, Denny. Here comes her car up the driveway now. Our vigil is over. Stay low.
But what now, sir?
Quiet.
Look, there she goes into the house.
All right, come on, Denny. First, we'll have a look at Mrs. Miller's car.
But what do you expect to find?
Nothing and everything.
No, really, sir.
What do you make of this, Denny?
Just a cardboard box.
Yes, a florist's box. But look here, inside the box.
The thermos bottle. A thermos bottle in a florist's box. Oh, frankly, sir, I don't get the connection.
I do, Denny. And we're going to act quickly.
By doing what, sir?
First, I'm going to make a telephone call. Then you and I are going to pay a little nocturnal visit to the cemetery. Careful now, Denny. Little noise as possible.
No, but can't I use the flash?
Not on this excursion. At least not yet.
But frankly, sir, I don't relish cemeteries, particularly this one, in the dark of night.
Here we are. The Miller family tomb. Now, Denny, be prepared for any emergency.
Well, I'll try.
Say, here's a stroke of luck. The door's unlocked. You can breathe easier now.
To be truthful, sir, all the breath's been frightened out of me.
Well, let's see what we can find inside.
Oh, why must all tomb doors sound that way?
You can use the flash now.
Yes, that's something.
Direct the light this way.
Yes, sir.
Well,
What is it?
just breadcrumbs.
Breadcrumbs. Well, what does that indicate?
Someone very much alive has been living, or rather hiding out in this tomb.
The thermos bottle in Mrs. Miller's car.
Right then. Mrs. Miller, under the pretense of bringing flowers to her husband's tomb, has been supplying food for a hideaway.
Madden. Then Mrs. Miller was in on it. Oh, how horrible.
And then it just occurred to me what an excellent place this would be to hide stolen securities.
Why, yes. Oh, Captain Drummond, the door.
Quick, Denny, quick.
Yes, sir.
Push. Push, Denny.
Oh, it's no use.
Afraid not.
Help!
No. That won't do any good, Denny. You're only wasting breath. No one can hear you from the outside.
Oh, but what'll we do, sir?
Nothing much we can do, Denny. It looks as if we've walked into a neatly laid trap.
Back to the climax of our story in just a moment.
Right now, the case of the irritable father. Fred's his name, age 38, height 5'11", hair brown, eyes gray. Like most fathers, Fred works hard 6 days a week. Unlike most fathers, lately he's been coming home cross, irritable, and tired.
Well, maybe he can't help it. When you lose your pep, feel nervous and headachy, it's hard to be pleasant.
True enough. Maybe all that irritable father needs is a laxative. In choosing your laxative, remember these 4 important yeses about nature's remedy. All vegetable? Yes. Contains only purely vegetable ingredients. Time-tested? Yes. Famous over 50 years. Used by the millions. Gentle acting? Yes. For young and old alike. Economical? Yes. 25 NR tablets cost only 25 cents. Remember these 4 important no's about nature's remedy. No harsh-acting drugs, no phenol derivatives, no minerals, no salts. Caution, take only as directed. NR. N for nature's, R for remedy. Nature's remedy. Your choice, uncoated or candy-coated. Get a 25-cent box tonight. Remember, NR tonight, tomorrow, all right.
And now, back to our story. Drummond and Denny's search for a killer has led them to a graveyard tomb in which they have been trapped.
Well, Denny, we're in rather a tough spot.
I'd say hopeless, sir.
What time is it?
11.
We've been here an hour.
Probably will be for eternity.
Oh, now, Denny, such pessimism.
But really, sir, you treat it all so lightly.
Well, Denny, perhaps with good reason.
Sir.
And there's the reason. Remember I made a phone call before we came out here?
Inspector Foley.
Drummond, Denny.
You're a welcome sight, Foley.
Oh, I'll second that, sir.
When you didn't call back in an hour as planned, I thought something went haywire, so here I am.
And what about Mrs. Miller?
She's got a reservation on a midnight train to Chicago, but my boys have orders to nab her when she steps on that train.
I suggest you let her board that train.
What?
You want to catch her accomplice, don't you?
Sure, but how will that do it?
We'll be aboard that train too, Foley. Mrs. Miller will be our bait to catch the murderer. Here's her compartment. Now, Mrs. Miller will receive two rather unexpected visitors.
It'll be a pleasure, sir.
Captain Drummond.
What's the matter, Mrs. Miller?
Why, nothing at all. I was just surprised to see you.
You look as if you've seen a ghost, or rather, two ghosts.
Well, I was just...
Yes, we know. Surprised.
Do you mind if we sit down?
Well, please, if you don't mind, I'm not feeling very well. I'd rather you...
Now, come, Mrs. Miller. Our company will do you good. Sort of cheer you up.
Well, then if you'll pardon me, I think I'll go back to the club car for a cup of coffee.
Oh, how rude. Then leave us here alone.
Yes, I'm afraid Denny's right. It would be rude of you.
But
Helen, I'd like to...
you must have the wrong compartment.
Excuse me.
Oh, that's quite all right. Come in anyway.
Huh? You heard him. That little point you feel in your back is the muzzle end of a 45.
What's
Get
this all
in.
about?
No use, they know.
That's right, Madden.
Hey, you fool. You stupid
I don't know how
Shut
to...
up, you two.
And now, Inspector Foley, introductions are in order.
Huh?
Permit me to introduce this gentleman properly. You referred to him as Madden.
So?
The name is Miller. Richard Miller.
So it was Miller all the time.
That's right, Denny. He killed Madden, ran the car over the body to make it unrecognizable, and then put his wedding ring on Madden's finger. With Madden as the suspect, Miller would have completely escaped detection. For a while, he hid himself and the securities in the tomb.
Well, it was he who locked us in.
Correct.
But what about the man who called for help from the Blackton Hotel, the first man he killed?
There was no such man. It was a ruse. Madden was the only victim.
But I don't understand, sir.
It was all an elaborate plan, Denny, to get us on the case.
Why?
Yes. Miller wanted to point the finger of guilt at Madden. He knew we'd follow the case from clue to clue. That piece of fabric was left in room 21 purposely, just as the unburned piece was left in Madden's fireplace. It all added up to Madden's guilt, except for one thing.
And what was that, sir?
Mrs. Miller was quick to recognize the wedding ring on her dead husband's finger. A bit too quick. Miller, in his haste, had slipped the ring on Madden's third finger right hand instead of the left hand.
My, what an obvious mistake.
Well, Denny, now I can get back to this book at last.
Yes, and I can get some sleep.
And if that phone rings, we won't answer it.
Good.
Nothing is going to disturb us tonight, Denny. I'm determined to read this book.
Right, sir. What should I do now, sir? Well, sir? Should I?
Denny, I'm sure this is a very dull book.
Bulldog Drummond will be back in just a moment to tell us about next week's show.
Follow in the footsteps of millions. When you need a laxative, get Nature's Remedy, NR tablets. Remember these four important